Bam, we're live. Can you guys hear me? I wonder if this mic's working. This is a new one. $39 from Amazon. I just had it sent to the house. I think my headset got jacked up from so much travel. Can you guys hear me okay? Ooh, now I'm getting some weird sounds. Let me know. Let me know. Before I start telling you a good story. Good morning, Elizabeth Disseldinger. Can you guys hear me scrolling my mouse around too? Can you guys hear that? God, I hope that you can't hear that because I can hear that in my headset. Sausages. Bam, we're live. Good morning. Sounds okay on my end. Okay, so this mic's working? Awesome. And I bet you my phone's working too. Oh my God, the hair. Yes. Oh my God. So this morning, I got up. Made a cup of coffee. And then a few minutes ago, my wife got up. And I said, good morning. And you know what she said to me? Yeah. She said, I had a dream with Rich Froning last night. I'm afraid to ask. I'm genuinely afraid to ask. Oh, it was G-rated? How am I supposed to do a show when you wear those shorts around the house? Oh, it is better? I really don't want to. I don't want to hold the mic in my hand. I got a cup of coffee. I'm all set. My boy Paul, you know, every once in a while you meet these people in your life and just every time they're around, good shit happens. That's my boy Paul. And he's not even Irish, but he's like a lucky charm. Anyway, he came over and cut my hair. He's rich too. He doesn't need to be cutting my hair. I think he did it because he just wanted to touch me. But okay. It's awful. What's awful? My hair's awful? I think it's great. My hair's great. Someone in the comments a couple of days ago said, hey, it makes you look older. I was like, that's awesome. That's what I was going for. I don't want to look like a young kid. I look like a mature man. Finally. Bernie Gannon. Uh-oh. The irony, the joke's on you, Haley. I also had a dream with Rich Froning. Uh-huh. Good one, Bernie. Damn, Bernie. Together, I could get control of my wife, Bernie, if you feed me lines and I say them. All right. I'm concerned about the mic. I need more feedback. Help alleviate my insecurities. Is everything good with the audio? Let me show you this thing. I got it from Amazon last night for $39. I've never used a mic like this. Help me. Oh, is there a racism discussion going on? Don't leave me out of that. Audio is sexy. Thank you. Clean your mug. Hey, that's funny you say that because I was actually really surprised. This was the mug I used yesterday for the show. And when I was done, I left it on the counter. And usually I have one of those wives that does all the, dishes and cleaning, and she takes good care of me. And then I saw it sitting in the same place I left it yesterday. I was like, shit. So I just rinsed it out and refilled it. I didn't wash it. But I did. Oh yeah. I got some schmegma dripping down the side. Oh, great question. Oh, Sabir, the song is great. The song is great. The thing is I'm getting dinged for copyrights every time I play it. Can you do something? Can you tell? What do we have to do about that so that I can play it on my station without getting dinged? And then I'll play it. I'll play it all the time. Oh, the mic. What mic is that? That's a great question. I'll tell you. Let me see. Let me go to Amazon. Tell you what I ordered. It was cheap too. You know what I think happened? I think I travel with these Audio-Technica headset. They're a headset and a mic all in one, and I think I just damaged it. The mic is I just typed in XL. Let me see. I'll tell you how much it was exactly. It was $43.09. It came with the XLR cable. It came with this stand, and it's a Mono, Maono, Maono, XLR podcast microphone. Here, I'll just how do I just copy this writing and then paste it so you can see it? Yeah, I mean, if you like it, I recommend it. I mean, $43 for a mic is crazy cheap. And look, when I think it's pretty directional, because if I just turn it around like this, the audio gets bad. And I turn it back like this and just point it at my mouth. It says it's what's the word they use? Supercardioid. Does that mean it's no? It just says cardioid studio dynamic mic for vocal recording, streaming, voiceover, voice isolation. Yeah. Okay. So stoked. All right. So that's good. And I can hear you through my ears. And I think, let's see. And this is the new Rodecaster. Maybe I blame this last Rodecaster not working on the Rodecaster, but maybe it was the headset. Sabir, I'll check my WhatsApp today. I'll try to make sure I check it so we can communicate, so I can figure out how to get that, so I can use the song without getting a copyright strike. Hey, do you remember that guy I used to show you guys who would bench press with his shirt off? That old guy. Did I make fun? Who did I make fun of? Was that Jeffrey Birchfield or Ken Walters? Who would I say that was? I can't remember. But regardless, someone did send me some video footage. Oh, Heidi says both. Okay, good. Oh, it was me. Good. Well, I do have some new footage of Jeffrey Birchfield that a listener sent me. I appreciate it. Here's Jeff in the wild. A lot of people don't get to see Jeff and see how talented he is, but here we go. Here's Jeffrey Birchfield in the wild. This was at my local skate park. He didn't know I was there. Look at him. Look at him. Mad skills. Who knew? Look at that. Wheelie. Middle finger. And everyone thought Jeff was a classy man, but when he's at the skate park, shit gets crazy. Look at this. 180. Ride backwards and we'll spin around. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Jeffrey Birchfield at the skate park. People laughing at him, but laughing out of enjoyment. You know what I mean? I know. Isn't that great, Craig? Look at him. Not everyone can do that. Anyway, I thought I'd share that. Multi-talented Mr. Birchfield. This is what he's doing in his spare time now that he's not teaching. Oh, Ken Walters. Hi. What would you guys rate that bike run? The silver medalist would be proud. What was his name? Kieran Riley. He'd be very proud. Joseph Ramirez. Sorry I'm late. No problem. I'm only half here today anyway. I realized that because I'm in the kitchen at this apartment, I realized that I can't I'm just not letting go fully with my kids around and my family around. I've noticed that I'm not getting into a flow state of pure debauchery and what'd you say? Oh, my wife said, is that so? Yeah. I'm not free around my wife, I guess. Or maybe it's the kids. But somehow I do feel that there's an editor on a little bit. Just slightly. Just slightly. Sevon is feeling bad after eating the raw meat. Oh, no, actually, you know what? I felt great yesterday. You know what I did yesterday? After the show, I went down to the park And the other day I played Frisbee with the boys down at the beach. And after I played Frisbee, I was a little concerned that I was going to feel really beat up the next morning because I'm 52 and we play hard and we run and there's a lot of explosive sprints and like a change of directions. And so then I woke up yesterday morning and I was fine. I was like, oh, I'm not even beat up. My feet aren't sore. My ankles aren't sore. I feel good. Wow. But then yesterday we went to the park and my oldest boy, Avi, is really getting into football. And we played football for about an hour, just, running snaps. And we just took turns snapping the ball. He would play quarterback once. I'd play quarterback once. And then you run and we're trying to throw the ball so you can catch it over your shoulder. Dude. And the park's about 3/4 of a mile from where we're staying. I felt so beat up after that. I feel good this morning, but man, I felt beat up after that. Getting old's weird. No, not DOMs. Not like that. It's yeah. Don't act like you don't know, Jeffrey. It's just that like you know really what it is? I just get tight. I get tight so quick. I used to be so loose. I'm so loose. I'm so flexible. I'm little. I'm I don't know what it is. I just get super duper tight. Yeah, running snaps. Yeah, running snaps. You know what I mean? I go like this. I fake the hike. Dude, tell me you landed on the moon without telling me you landed on the moon. I don't even know what you're talking about. That's not even funny, David. What are you talking about? That doesn't even make sense. Sebi's built like a lesbian, probably. I am. I'm so loose. I'm like a loose man. You know what I mean? I'm flexible. I'm agile. I have great movement patterns, like better than games athletes. I'm just a great mover. Ask anyone. But I'm getting old, so I just get stiff. Even my fingers get stiff. I watched a little bit of the Chicago Bears game yesterday. I heard a stat that last week's game, Caleb Williams broke some sort of rookie passing. I don't know if it was for the Chicago Bears or for the NFL, but I guess last week he threw 383 yards, even when they lost. That makes me think that Tyson's not going to play this year. And then I think they won yesterday, which makes me think he's not going to play this year. And then some guy, I was at a party last night over at Sarah Cox's house. Holy cow, does she have a nice house. My boys had so much fun there. She has twin girls, beautiful little twin girls. My boys had a blast. She got a swimming pool, trampoline, all the goodies, playroom. She got her whole yard has this beautiful, I can't stand AstroTurf, but for some reason I loved it in her yard. Did you like that in her yard, her fake grass? Oh, I loved it. I couldn't believe how good it looked. Usually I can't stand that shit. You know what it is? I realized I don't think I like AstroTurf when people have dogs. Because then I know the dogs are peeing and pooping on it. Oh. Yeah, that backside over there had AstroTurf and it was so nice. I thought I hated fake grass too, but I'm telling you that her fake grass was amazing. Yeah, it looked great, and it I don't know. Maybe it's because it's brand new. Anyway, I was over there watching the game, and her husband was there. He's crazy into football, and he had like 6 buddies, and everyone's so into football. And one of the guys said that he needs to be traded to Miami, where that guy Tua got fucked up. I was like, oh, that sounds smart. Send him to Miami. That's Dave Castro's favorite team. That would be amazing if he went to Miami. There was a kid who showed up at the house yesterday to watch the football game, young kid. I'd say 20 years old. Anyway, he told a story that earlier in the day, he was driving his Lamborghini and he was in a parking lot. And and a guy in a Toyota Tundra was texting and came around a turn in the parking lot and fucking drove up on the side of his Lamborghini. And he showed me the picture. What a gross picture to see a Lamborghini that's been smashed by a Tundra at 4 miles an hour. He said he saw the whole thing in slow motion. He said he was honking. The guy was just rolling right towards him and fucking just drove up on the fucking Lambo. Yeah, 20 years old and with a Lambo. Actually, I'll tell you the whole story. Thanks for ruining the story for me, Jeff. I'll tell you the whole story. He told me it's his friend's Lambo, and he rents it from his buddy for $800 a day once a month so that he can manifest that lifestyle. Like he wants to feel like he belongs in a Lambo, like it's his. And you could tell this kid was a go-getter. You could totally tell this kid was a go-getter. I think he sells solar panels. And I heard him tell I heard him tell a guy who was at the party, I was listening, a story. He said that he pulled the Lambo up into a parking spot. Newport Beach has a lot of money. Like my kids are just looking at cars everywhere. Yesterday we saw Rolls Royce, shitloads of fucking Ferraris, shitloads of Porsches. The place is filthy rich and clean and polite and nice. And it's just an amazing spot. But he said that he rented this Lambo from his buddy yesterday. He said he does it once a month. And he said he pulls into this parking lot and he parks his car. And he said these two little kids and their dad come over and they start talking to him about the Lambo. So he says to the little kids, hey, do you want to get in the car and rev the engine? Push the gas pedal. And the little kids said, yeah, we'd love to. So he lets the kids go in there, lets both of them rev the engine. And then while they're doing that, he's talking to the dad. And he sells the dad a set of solar panels and makes a $10,000 to $15,000 commission on the sale. Austin Hartman, you can't manifest wealth by wasting $800 a month. Let me tell you, I'm buying what he was doing. I felt what that kid was saying. I knew what he was doing. I felt it. He's a go-getter. He works his ass off. He wants to know what it's like to have nice things. He wants to feel like he belongs. He works hard. Look at Rambler. Yes, you can. God, I hate it that I agree with you. I'm looking for Jake's question. I don't see it. No, I don't think it's SoCal fakeness. And let me tell you, I'm a huge proponent of going after SoCal people for being fake as shit. Why do people need validation from others so much? I don't know what part of that story meant validation. I asked him, I said, how nice is the Lambo? He said, unbelievably nice. He says it's a life changer. He said later on when he got into his own car, it just felt weird. I don't have any desires for a Lambo, but I bet you if I sat in it, it would be a different story. So I don't know the details of this next story that I'm going to tell you, but I can tell you there was a guy that was, I believe, a DEI hire over at CrossFit. I think he was the president of CrossFit. I think he was going to be in charge of merchandise, selling merchandise. He was going to be the president of merchandise, and Rosa hired him. And I do believe he was a DEI hire, tall, skinny, gay dude from the UK. I do believe he was hired because of his sexual orientation, which would be fine if he was selling tickets to Diddy's party, but he wasn't. He was selling merchandise to CrossFitters, or he was supposed to. And then, which is I don't want to say it's ironic because it's so obvious, but then what I heard, and I don't know this for a fact, but then I heard, and I would say that my sources are pretty good, that he then ends up quitting and sues CrossFit for discrimination. So listen, if you hire people based on DEI, you have to know that that's going to be the outcome 50% of the time, because those people know that they're being hired for that, and they know that they're going to be leaving for that. When you hire someone as a DEI hire, meaning you don't hire them on merit, you hire them on something, on some quota because of the way they look or some lifestyle practice they have that's not relevant to the job. Some lifestyle practice or some outer quality, bullshit quality that they have, gay, black, whatever. When they leave, it's also going to be like that. It's just like it's just like this. If you hire someone who's 400 pounds for a job, you have to know that eventually they're going to file for disability. That's what happens. You have to just know that. If you hire someone who's completely out of shape, eventually something's gonna happen at work where they get physically injured and they're gonna leave because of disability. So if you hire a cop and he weighs 150 pounds, and then over the next 5 years he puts on 200 pounds, that cop at some point is gonna get injured on the job, and it's going to be a disability issue. And this live by DEI, die by DEI. Yeah. So if you hire someone based on DEI, you have to know at some point they're also going to turn around and sue you or say that they were discriminated against because you hired them based on discrimination. It's just the law of the land. It's the way the world works. It's like physics. It's like dropping an apple from a tree. Good point, Tyler. Unless his name is Ronnie Coleman. Good point. Very good. Great point. You know what I mean by put on 200 pounds, though. Anyway, now I hear from CrossFit, the guy went to Orange Theory, and now he's been fired from Orange Theory. I also think that the guy who wrote the affiliate handbook that all the affiliates are given, I think he also went to Orange Theory or to F45. Just tell us his name. Hold on. I'll tell you his name. You guys can look it up. I sent it to Hiller. I'm hoping Hiller investigates it and does a piece on it. I don't have. Someone sent me his LinkedIn file, and I don't have. Oh, Jason Dunlop. Ask my boyfriend. He works at F45. Whoa. Orange Theory's for dudes that wipe after they pee. I wipe after I pee. That's not cool. You think I should switch to F45 or Orange Theory? I've been my whole life. I take a little piece of toilet paper and dab the front of my penis. Can you guys hear my mouse clicking around? I hear it in my headphones. I hope you guys don't hear it. Hear all the clicks and everything.
Where are gay men's vaginas? They don't have vaginas. What? Oh, they're just regular men. When two gay men have sex, how do they know whose penis will open up to accept the other person's penis? Oh. Wow. Where are gay men's vaginas? They don't have vaginas. What? Oh. They're just regular men. When two gay men have sex, how do they know whose penis will open up to accept the other person's penis? Oh. Wow.
That makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. I like his thinking. That makes perfect sense. Wow. Hold it over the sink and rinse the tip off. Oh, is there an echo? I just switched some stuff around. Was there an echo? Man. Sean Lenderman, if Sevon, if you understand the character, it makes that so much funnier. Okay, I gotta see if there's an echo. I'm messing with the audio and shit. What a show today. Here, let's do this. Tell me right away if there's an echo. I wish I could take credit for these clips. You guys send me these clips. I can't take credit for shit. Okay, tell me if there's an echo in this. Here we go.
This horrible thing, J.D. Vance, did he really say what Joe Biden says he said? Joe Biden, who's still the president, he may not have known that, makes a speech today, and he alleges that Vance said something horrible.
I'm going to be very blunt. Secretary Vance of Ohio has called these shootings facts of life. Who the hell do these people think they are?
Okay. First,
oh, there is an echo? Wait, whoa. There is an echo? Okay, let me try that. Let me try it. Can there be an echo? How the fuck are you guys getting an echo? Let me see. Sound, output. Let me try this. Okay, how about now? Here we go.
First of all, he's not Secretary Vance, he's Senator Vance. He's a U.S. Senator from the great state of Ohio. Secondly, he did say that they're facts of life, but not the way Joe Biden's saying it. He took it out of context on purpose. Let's show what the AP was reporting about this very thing. They literally said what Biden said, and they said that J.D. Vance says school shootings are a fact of life, calls for better security. Well, if you notice this picture, the AP had to delete that post because they were wrong and they were out of context. They posted a new post that said J.D. Vance says he laments that school shootings are a fact of life and says the U.S. needs to harden security to prevent more carnage like this shooting this week that left 4 dead in Georgia. That's at least in better context. This is what J.D. Vance actually said.
So Joe Biden is talking again, and I cannot believe the shit these fucking people make up. And what's crazy is that the libtards we know are going to believe this. But this is what J.D. Vance really said.
I don't like this. I don't like to admit this. I don't like that this is a fact of life. But if you are a psycho and you want to make headlines, you realize that our schools are soft targets. And we have got to bolster security at our schools so that a person who walks through the front door we've got to bolster security so that if a psycho wants to walk through the front door and kill a bunch of children, they're not able to.
By the way, I disagree with this. Even though I can't stand what Joe Biden said and he's a fucking lying sack of shit, I disagree with this 100%. Listen, all that's doing is addressing these symptoms. We know what needs to be done. We know what needs to be done. The punishment for crimes, we need to start enforcing the laws in this country again. We need to start recognizing being a tranny is a mental illness and not something we're codependent of. We need to stop giving kids hormone blockers or anything that fucks with their hormones. We need to close the border so fucking drugs don't come into our country. No, every single person who's shooting up schools, something's fucking wrong with them. They don't have a dad at home. They were addicted to drugs. There's a whole cascade of things, of events that happened in their life that we can start fixing without putting cops at schools. I don't like an environment that kids are in where you need a cop at the school. And hey, when kids are being bad, just kick them out of the fucking school. Yeah, I don't know, Jeremy. Jeremy's saying this would be the first step while we work on these other things out. I don't know. I disagree. That was the same excuse that people were saying during COVID to me. Well, until we work these things out, let's just wear masks. I don't think. I think it's really hard to go backwards. Not even suspend them, just expel them. Expel the bad kids. Just really start. Just go back to just enforcing shit. Teachers can't come to school. You can't come to school if you're a teacher in your Halloween costume. Start enforcing a dress code for the fucking teachers. Fuck it. And enforce a dress code for the kids. Stop incentivizing women to leave their fucking husbands. Oh shit, we're gonna try the phone now too. Look at us. We're going big time. Caller,
what's up, big time?
Hey, what's up? Wow.
Does it work?
Been here 4 or 5 days and finally got a full show going.
It's real. I love it.
Give it to me.
I'm going to say something far-fetched here.
Okay.
But play the game here for this topic.
Okay.
Imagine you sent your kids to school.
Oh, gross.
I know, right? But
Hey,
some of us
Greg pulled his. Greg's the least scared person I've ever met in my life, and he pulled his kids out of school because of school shooters. That was the final straw for him because I was always talking to him about homeschooling. He thought I was crazy.
I mean, I don't blame him. I don't think anybody blames him at all. But I don't have $200+ million. Single dad life is tough. And guess what? I got to send my kids to school. And you know what? I actually found a really cool school where I think I told you this before, they still do the Pledge of Allegiance in the morning. It's a good school. It's a good place.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, I got nothing wrong at this point right now with where our country's at with a police officer, a former military person, whatever, walking around that school to keep my kids safe. I mean, if I could do it, I would. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough. And hey, and what I think that there should be a no tolerance policy from kids just fucking off at school. You fight at school, you talk back to the teachers, any of that shit, bye-bye.
And that's part of the other, I totally agree. That's part of the other thing. So do this, and then let's work on all those other things, like actually punishing people, actually holding people accountable, not buying into the mental illness that we're seeing and being the codependence and all that. We can work. We need to work on all that. Like, actual good family units at home, not making excuses. The list goes on. We can work on all that. We need to work on all that if we're going to kind of turn this boat around that we're in America. But I'll tell you what, again, in the meantime, load up the schools with some good dudes that or women that want to keep our kids safe.
No.
I know. I had to throw that in.
No.
I knew you were going to say that.
Nope, dudes.
All dudes. I'm with you.
Yep. Some fucking 16-year-old fucking kid will beat up a woman. Augustus Link says, Sevon, didn't you say that if you can't afford to homeschool your kids that you're being selfish? I don't think those were my words.
No, I don't think you said that.
But I think that Russell Berger was talking about, hey, like you have to make the choices where you make sacrifice and where you don't. And I know it's easy. I know it's easy for me to say because I'm already in that position, right? It's like the people who already have their diet really tight and they're like, just don't put shit in your mouth. And like, I know it's really easy to say that when you're the person who has your diet tight. So, all right, fair enough. Respect. Yeah. If my kids were in school, I'd probably have a different outlook. You're right.
For sure. Don't send them to school. I'm just saying, put yourself in that position. And it's like, yeah, you know what? You want those boys to be as safe as possible. And unfortunately, this point in our country, these are some of the things we need to do, until we figure our shit out.
Right. All right. Thank you.
All right. Good to hear your voice, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye. Hey, Frantheim, what if you loaded up men in the school who could be good dads to kids who need them? People would start getting molested. You can't have too many dudes in the school. Kids, especially with the way high school girls and junior high girls are dressed these days, something crazy inappropriate would happen. The way the girls are dressed in when I see the schools get out in my neighborhood, I can't even believe. I truly cannot believe what I'm seeing. It's nuts. But there are some crazy fixes too. Reduce, just teach them math and English and make all the other classes PE. I think that would be amazing. Paper Street Coffee. Yum. Yum, yum, yum. There's no way I sip as loud as Hans. Hans sips so loud. Yesterday, his sipping was wild, wasn't it? Paper Street Coffee, PAPERST coffee.com. Prices may have went up today. If they didn't, you better get over there. If they did, you better get over there. I started a whole ass coffee company to make sure I can homeschool my kids in the future. I want to change the name. I don't even like the name homeschool. Pat Lang, my guess is if you gave every teacher a gun, that the gun would be taken by students. Yeah, that's true too. That's 100% true what Pat's saying. You loaded the school up with guns, eventually guns would go missing. Caller, hi.
Hey, Savvy, Dan Wynn, how you doing?
Good. Thanks for calling.
Good. Hey, I've only been involved with CrossFit for about a year now. And really
wait, you've only been involved in what?
CrossFit for about a year now.
Okay.
And I've only got interested in the games and stuff because people like you make it interesting. I got the sense of this is kind of what the history of the last few years of CrossFit has been like. So maybe you can help me out and get this right. So obviously Greg starts it around 2002 or something like that. And his whole thing is really about get off the carbs, get off the couch, all that good stuff, fitness. And then when he had the first games, it was just a celebration of CrossFit. But hey, come on over and we'll have a little competition. And then it kind of took on a life of its own, I guess, maybe when sponsors got involved, started putting up prize money. And eventually the athletes started thinking, hey, we can make a living at this. And it kind of turned into sort of a battle for the soul of CrossFit, where you had Greg and his original vision for the methodology and the affiliates, and the athletes who wanted to take it and make it a professional sport. And when Greg did his whole Floyd-19 thing, the athletes saw that as an opportunity to push him out and keep pushing toward professional athlete kind of thing. Is that kind of accurate?
Yeah, that's just to fill in a couple of blanks there. That's extremely accurate. Not to fall into the weeds, but to fall into the weeds. What happened was the prize purse was like, whatever, $2,500 for first place. And then the CEO of Reebok called Greg and said, hey, I'll increase the prize money to $1 million to spread around.
Wow.
And Greg had a pretty, he got all the executives in the company together and he told us, he goes, hey, look, we're going to do this, but I never want to use the Reebok money to run the company. And so I never want to be reliant on the sponsors. I want to be able to say anything I want about them to them. I just don't want it to be that way. And then another nuance that happened was Greg wanted it to be like the Woodstock of fitness, like the NorCal event, which was just an amazing event. Just by a lake and there's families there and there's people working out, and he wanted bands and stuff like that. But what ended up happening is last minute one year, Monterey County told Dave he couldn't have the event at his house, and Dave couldn't get it permitted at his house. And so there was a quick rush to move it. And that's when it moved to Carson, which is a little tennis stadium that holds 14,000 people. And then they have a soccer stadium next door that probably holds, 20,000 people, where the Galaxy played. And that kind of changed those two events, the prize money from Reebok and the change of venue, kind of pushed it in that direction. And then that's when the athlete, and then also at that time was the advent of Instagram showed up. And so then what that did, so those three things, and then with the advent of social media, the athletes didn't feel like they needed the mothership as much, right? Because it's just like, do you remember when there were only 3 channels or 10 channels on TV?
Oh yeah.
Oh, everyone brushed with Crest, right? Because that's what the TV told you to do, right? And
by Dennis.
Yep, exactly. And so those three things together, that huge influx of prize money, the change of the venue, and then the social media, and the CrossFit couldn't, the athletes could do as much for themselves to promote them as CrossFit could do to promote them. And there became this weird delusion that set in on them. And I can't tell you like how fucking delusional they are. It's not, they should all be thanking me because they're so delusional about what they really, I don't know, deserve, or what their influence is in the world, or what their value is. I mean, they are so fucking confused.
Well, that's the irony, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because because they have their social media, they think they don't need CrossFit to promote them. But at the same time, CrossFit doesn't need them either. Because has CrossFit ever actually made money off the games?
No. Well,
yeah.
So to be completely honest, there is a fuzzy line, right? So when we put that first games doc on Netflix, something did happen. Like CrossFit got some crazy notoriety because Netflix is truly an international platform for videos. So when that first documentary went on Netflix, it was weird. Like I was in a gym working out in Kenya, and it's like, you know what I mean? Like a shitty, like what you'd imagine to be an African gym, not a CrossFit gym, just a hotel gym. And I look up at the TV and I'm doing CrossFit, and there's these 5 airline pilots working out in there, and they're watching the TV and watching me, and they come over and they're like, "Oh, are you doing CrossFit?" And I said, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Oh shit. Now that it's Netflix, now that it's ESPN, people all over the world are seeing it in bars and stuff." So that, I think it would be naive to think it didn't launch it to the next level in growth, but never compared to the early growth we had from when we went to just 3,000 gyms to 7,000 gyms. That happened like, overnight without ESPN or Netflix or any of that shit. So yeah, it was but it made the athletes truly got fucking delusional. Yeah, and the athletes were way cooler then too. They participated. You know what I mean? Like you could call Rich Froning and just be like, "Hey, can we fly you out to HQ and make some videos?" And Rich would be like, "Sure, yeah." And now it's not like that. As the Fraser era came in and he was dedicating so much to the sport, and in his defense, he became he elevated what it meant to be a professional. Elevated might not be the right word, but he changed the game. He changed the game with his participation in the community. I mean, he was very vocal. "Hey, I'm going to win a bunch of games, get money, and you guys will never see me again." And that's how he behaved too. Like his goal was to get a cabin and disappear.
Well, he got halfway there. He got his cabin. He hasn't disappeared.
No. So, and I don't blame him for changing his mind or whatever.
Sure.
But there is a you nailed it. Did you want to add something to that, like, and then say, okay, now that I understand this is what I think? Did you want to add something to it?
No, I just realized I was putting it together with a very thin outline. I only knew the part about the struggle between the games athletes and Greg from a video that I think his name is Coppola, the teams athlete who's been making responses to the PSAA. Yeah, he's the one that mentioned that. And that gave it a lot of context to the whole. It wasn't simply a woke reaction to Greg's comment, but it was one with a purpose. And it was one where people were taking advantage of what they saw as an opportunity to use that incident to further their agenda.
Yeah, so there used to be more of a symbiotic relationship in the Froning years where the athletes a give and take, and now with the athletes it's just take. And I'll tell you one more thing that got confusing. So then the people at HQ started to get delusional too. A lot of our staff started like thinking, "Oh, this video with Dan Bailey doing let me be more specific. Us showing the games of a games video would get 1 million views, and us doing a video of a woman losing 100 pounds would only get 6,000 views." And so they thought there was a lot of young filmmakers there at the time who thought that meant it was better for CrossFit, which it wasn't, because once that games video got 1 million views, it stopped and it never got more, right? Because it went on to the next year. But that video you made of a woman who lost 100 pounds, that every year it would put on another 1,000 views, and it would keep growing and growing. And that message truly of what CrossFit is just kept growing and growing and growing. And so the staff at HQ started to get delusional. Well, now the delusion is completely solidified because between Rosa and Don Fall, they fired everyone there. And so there's 90% of the people there have no idea what CrossFit is. Like none. They could even give you the lip service, but I know they have no idea. They think that somehow the games is important. And it was like that. It was probably like, when I was there, it started getting really high. Like all of us were starting to get confused because we loved the game so much. It was so fun. It was fun making that content. And we started thinking it brought more value than it did. But now it's just a complete, it's a runaway monster now. But this death of Lazar, I think, is going to be really good on a couple reasons. I think it's going to bring back some of the grit of the sport. We just saw, I don't know if you saw a couple of days ago, a young girl died in a bike race. Did you see that? A bike race. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that. No.
So this little girl, she's one of the best like triathletes in the world or bike riders in the world. And she was in a bike race, and she went missing during the race, and they didn't find her for 2 hours, and they found her and she was dead. They think she drove off the track and hit a tree and died. And like those are all those sports. Or like Jack Tatum, who used to play on the Raiders, he hit a guy and paralyzed him. And as tragic as it was, his brand skyrocketed. Like, oh fuck, you don't want to be hit by Jack Tatum. And so I think that Lazar's death, it will be a net gain for the sport. Unpopular take, I'm sure, because of people's emotional cognitive dissonance, but because it'll bring the grit back to the sport. It'll make us realize that, hey man, this shit is fucking hard. And I'm really hoping HQ does the right thing and fucking neuters this fucking thing. And then the athletes will be more appreciative of it. They used to be so appreciative of the games, 2007, 8, 9, 10. And then slowly there's this entitlement, like that's beyond, their entitlement is out of control.
They think they're bringing more value to it than they are.
Right. And they only think about themselves. You'll never hear the PFAA. You still haven't heard the PFAA mention affiliates once. And hey, here's my proof how confused HQ is. I tried to find it, but yesterday they had a story on their Instagram, on CrossFit Instagram. On the CrossFit Instagram, they had a story, and they showed people doing the worm, and they showed people doing. It was a whole bunch of footage of people working out in competitions. And it's like, dude, that does not belong on the CrossFit.com Black page Instagram at all. And that just shows me that whoever's working there has no fucking clue what they're doing. I actually want to send the chief marketing officer over there, Jenna Haka, who I really, really like and respect and note today, and be like, hey man, like the worm should never show up on anything that promotes affiliates. Like that video scared me. Like, why the fuck is that somewhere where people are going to be looking to go to an affiliate? You don't want to put shit on there that's going to just straight up scare the shit out of people. No one wants to do the worm. It showed like 6 people or 4 people lifting it back and forth over their head. I'm not going to some fucking class to do that. And so it makes me just realize how confused they are of what their product is.
Yeah. The irony of that is the thing that pushed me off the fence about starting CrossFit was Don Fall's appearance on Jordan Peterson's podcast.
Wait, Don Fall was on Jordan Peterson's podcast?
I believe it was either Jordan Peterson or Jocko Willink, one of those two.
Oh, Jocko. He was on Jocko.
Oh, okay. And when Jocko asked him a question about CrossFit being dangerous, and Fall said that, well, if I hear of any affiliate owners encouraging dangerous behavior, they won't be an affiliate owner anymore. And so they say, okay, I guess they do care about safety. So that kind of pushed me off the edge to give it a try.
The thing is, Daniel, right?
Yeah.
There was this line that Greg used to say that in order to fight a cardiovascular disease, you have to flirt with orthopedic calamity, right? So if you get off the couch, right, there's a chance you're going to be hurt. And CrossFit, it's like, and I encourage anyone who goes to an affiliate to always stand up for yourself. Like it's okay. You can fight with your coach and be like, no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that. You can reel it back if you're scared. My mom was one of those people. She was always pushing back. And now she has a 14-year at 82 years old, a 14-year career with CrossFit, training. But there is going to be some risk. There is going to be some, Sure. I mean, it's my boy skates, and there's a ton of risk.
Yeah, I had some experience with fitness. I had just gotten away from it for a while. I used to be a runner. I'm a veteran, and CrossFit intrigued me. But like I said, I was nervous about it because you hear all the BS, and most of what you see on YouTube is game stuff. So you look at the extreme of the extreme.
Right.
So it was good to know that. And the other thing too that made it work out so well for me was because I did have experience with some fitness. Every time I tried to get back into it, I overdid it, and I wouldn't be able to function the next couple of days.
Right.
So going into a box and saying, "Hey, I want to do this, but here's the thing: I need you to help me dial it back because if I can't function tomorrow, I won't be back the next day."
Right.
And they were really good at helping me scale the workout. I mean, the first day turned out to be a hero wad, but they scaled it perfect for me, reducing the weight, reducing the reps. And that was a week before my 60th birthday, and I've been doing it ever since, and it's been great.
What gym do you go to?
CrossFit Unlimited Potential in Newton, Connecticut.
Okay. Hey,
so now I've got.
Do you have kids, Daniel?
I have 4 grown kids.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, yesterday I went to when I played football with my son, Avi, he immediately wants to stand, 20 yards apart and just start throwing the football as hard as he can. And I'm like, I can't do that. I'm 52. Like I need 15 throws that are like gentle. Or else my shoulder is going to hurt. And so and I have to tell him, hey, dude, can you just warm up with me for 10 minutes? Just let me run around, get some jogging in, throw some light ones. You know what I mean? And it's a fact of life. John Brzenk, the world's greatest arm wrestler of all time, has a story where he was playing a celebrity softball game, and he went out there and he threw a ball from the outfield and hurt his shoulder. And it's an injury that stayed with him for fucking his whole life. He's had it for 30 years now.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like, you got to be smart.
So now in my Instagram bio, I say I'm the fittest 61-year-old ASO interpreter in Central Connecticut.
Oh, that's awesome. What's ASO?
American Sign Language.
Oh, you do sign language?
Yes, I do.
Do you have a deaf child?
Nope.
Wow.
It's just something I've been doing for a living for 30 years.
Wow. Are you good at it?
Yeah. Makes a living.
Hey, did you ever see that lady who was this sign language interpreter for Obama somewhere, and she was faking it? She got the job, and she was up there just faking it, and then they finally caught her. Do you remember that?
I didn't see that one. And the only thing I can think of that associates a fake sign language interpreter with President Obama was when he went to Nelson Mandela's memorial, and they had a fake sign language interpreter there who turned out to be a guy with a history of mental illness and violence. So I can imagine security people out of a job.
Maybe that's what I was thinking, but what a fucking funny thing to do. I would be so proud if I pulled that off.
That was a major troll.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing to go somewhere and just fake that shit? Hey, how many deaf people? How many deaf people in the country?
I've been so long since I heard that stat. I don't even know. I can just see it now. If any of my colleagues hear this, you hear your podcast, they're like, you bombed out on that stat.
Hey,
I don't know.
Are there places where they congregate?
No
shit. Are you kidding me? Are there any cities where they congregate? You know how like there's cities that are like all Muslim, or like Glendale's all Armenian? Like, are there cities like anywhere like in Wyoming where it's like?
Well, it's not so much that, but I think you do because of the existence of resources that you're going to find more around cities than you will in rural areas.
Yeah.
Interesting thing. I used to work for FEMA, and I was in Puerto Rico for a few months back in 2018, and out of a population of 3 million people, Puerto Rico has a proportionally high number of deaf people. I think they had like 200,000 deaf on the island of Puerto Rico. That was interesting.
I can't remember the last time I saw a deaf person. I mean, who knows if I'm just walking by them every day, but I remember I was at a film festival in San Jose, and I was at a cafe, and there were 2 deaf people there fighting. It was awesome. It was fucking amazing. They were having, I wish I could have known what they were saying. But they were signing back and forth to each other, and they were fucking pissed. That would be a good skit for YouTube. Someone should do that.
All right, Sammy, good talking to you again.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
All right. I saw all right. I see STD talk. Oh, I saw a comment from Heidi that I want. My friend who's in her 30s tore her ACL jumping on a trampoline. I was in Iceland filming with Annie, and we went into her gymnastics studio. Like, we're massive, you know what I mean? Like a 40,000 square foot monster, whatever, maybe 20,000 square foot warehouse. I'm assuming it's where their Olympic team trained. It was so nice. Anyway, they had a trampoline there, and I jumped on it, and I did that move where you land on your butt and then you go to stand back up, and my back went out and ruined the entire trip for me. That's my trampoline story. Fuck a trampoline. All right, but yep, there he named the that guy just gave us the whole history of what happened to the games. Guys will say male privilege doesn't exist and then go on a walk at midnight. Girls will say female privilege doesn't exist and then pay their rent with pictures of their butthole. Are you talking to me? See, that's what I mean. My wife's judging me right now. I'm not free. Could you bring me a sparkling water, please? Thank you. I know. No, I don't care. I normally don't drink sparkling water during the show because usually I have a huge cup of Paper Street coffee that I dilute like crazy. But now I just got these little mugs. I need something to sip on constantly because my mouth's so dry. Girls will say female privilege doesn't exist and then pay their rent with pictures of their butthole. God, can you imagine saying female privilege doesn't exist? You're out of your mind. You have no idea how the world works if you think that. When this phone rings, can you hear it, Haley?
Yeah.
Because it's so loud here. Caller, hi.
Hi, I'm Devin.
Devin, I just want to say one thing to you.
Go for it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. What? Thanks for what?
Just carrying the show today. Just completely.
Okay. Well, I'm ready. I'm ready to carry it. Let's put it on my back and let's go.
Let's do it, buddy.
Yeah. I called last week. Some people listened. They're like, "Oh, you should call more often." So that's what I'm doing.
Wow. Now I want to hang up on you. Listen, there's these Devin, listen. There's these people that come on the show. I haven't had one in a while. But
okay.
they'll come on the show and then they'll be like, "Oh my God, I got such great feedback. You should have me on again." And I'm like, dude, listen, you motherfucker.
I'm not
Everyone gets great feedback on this show. It's the fucking greatest show on the internet. Okay, but go ahead. I'm going to give you a pass.
Okay. Your parents work out. That's excellent. And I love hearing that, right?
Yeah. Well, my mom works out, and my dad's a farmer. So my dad has, my dad just has, my dad has fucking 20 acres of land that he works, cherry trees, apricot trees, all that.
And
shit.
He's just a healthy piece of rebar, right?
Yeah. He drinks a lot, but he's 82 and he still climbs on a ladder and he probably walks 10 miles a day. And he probably uses a shovel every day, all that shit. You know what I mean? Like feet, you know what I mean? Carries bags of like chicken feed or dog feed or, stuff like Chex Beehive, shit like that.
Yeah. Have you like experienced anybody or like heard any good stories of someone that's like cracked the code on their parents, like getting their parents to like turn stuff around, people that maybe they got like fed up with their parents' health and like watching them decline and how heartbreaking that is and convincing them to step into a gym. Is that You have any insight on that?
No, Greg used to say it's fucking impossible. I think I can only tell you from my experience. I think my mom started CrossFit because she wanted to do something with me, right? So I would be like, "Hey, mom, come to the park with me and do CrossFit." And so we would just go down to the park, and I would just do like, and I started her just like so easy. So like, I would be like, "Hey, let's do 1 burpee the first minute, 2 burpees the second minute, all the way up to like 5 minutes, right?"
Yeah.
And then I would just take like a ball, like a tennis ball, and then just play catch with her. And that would be a workout.
Yeah, totally.
Just so simple. You know what I mean? Just so fucking simple. And I would do it with her. You know what I mean? So I would do the burpee on the, and we would just be at the park. And I think my mom just, I think the only reason why I was lucky enough to get my mom into it was because she wanted to spend time with me.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. But now my mom is not an emotional person at all. And now my mom, the last 3 times I've seen my mom cry in the last 14 years is when she's looked at me and said, "Thank you so much for introducing me to CrossFit," and her eyes will water up.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
I've like set up everything up. Like I have I own an affiliate, and we have like a 60+ class, and like it's like set up for her basically, for both my parents, and it's just like it's like pulling teeth to try and convince them, you know. So I mean,
and my mom's not a social person at all. My mom is not someone who like wants friends, needs friends at all. But fuck, man, they at CrossFit West, where she goes, I think it's called CrossFit West. There's like 40 old people in the class, and my mom loves them. She has like, my mom has friends now. It's so weird.
Yeah, I bet you all the old people in there, like they're like just the normal salty old CrossFitter or salty CrossFitters, but they're just older.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
so like,
yes.
so like, I like set up this thing, and it's supposed to be like a class to introduce fitness CrossFit to people that, you know, I was hoping that people would come that like had no interest in exercise, and just old CrossFitters showed up and they talked shit to me the whole time. So it's great. It's wonderful, but it missed the mark of my intentions, you know.
How are you going to do that? Like, did your parents even show up?
No, I mean, they know. And every time I'm with them, I make sure to talk about somebody in the 60+ class.
Yeah.
And what they're excited about, or what they're commiserating about. Like, so my mom's going to do cataracts. I'm like, oh, you know, Deb, she's really excited about her cataracts surgery, and you know, bringing it up and always talking about it. And they're just like, no, not for me. Not buying it. And honestly, I feel like the dentist with the kid with the jacked up teeth, you know, like I have a gym, I have all the answers, and my parents are still unhealthy, you know. Or it'd be like you're a firefighter and your house is on fire.
Hey, what about this? This is going to be controversial. What about the parents who own a gym and their kids are fat?
So I don't have kids, so I don't know what that looks like. And the gym owners that I know, they're like very good about their kids being in the gym. But I'm sure it exists. But that's,
dude,
you know, the same thing. Like,
I see it all the time. I saw a kid the other day who belongs to a CrossFitter who's so obese, a young kid, that you know, you can get so obese that you damage your rig forever. You know, like it'll never, like, you got so fat that, like, I mean, you still need to work out and get healthy and lose the weight, but the rig's damaged forever. Like that mark's always going to be on there. Like I got my CN, I got in a car accident when my minivan was brand new. And every time I open the sliding, and they repaired it, but every time I open the sliding door, I can tell it's not like it was when it was new. There's like a little hitch it has to go through. I see kids who belong to gym owners and world-class CrossFitters, and their kids are already damaged. It's like they didn't even, it's not like they're chubby. They're like, they're not going to snap back. It's crazy. It's I don't understand it. Okay, now you talk. Hello. Oh shit, I lost you. Hold on. I was like, what the fuck is going on with this conversation? Hold on. You popped off. Hello?
It's fine.
Oh, hello. Did you hear that? All that, my monologue? Yes. Did you hear my monologue about fat kids?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, no, totally. Yeah. And I think I commiserate like with my parents. I mean, not my kids, but you know, like obviously your parents, you have all the influence in the world. That shouldn't happen. But I commiserate. Like I feel the same, a little bit of shame in that, you know, with my parents. So
Hey, my dad won't even like listen to me. Like my dad can't even hear. My dad can't even hear me. I say things that make so much fucking sense, but like my dad just can't about any topic. My dad just can't hear me. So like I have to if I'm going to talk to my dad about something that's like has any depth to it, I have to be so fucking patient and lure him to that spot. Because my parent, he has these lines, but both my parents have these lines that like, they'll do this. Oh, well, can we agree to disagree? Or it's a complex issue, or they always have an out. You know what I mean? And, I tried to walk my dad through an air squat, and like, it's like, he just refuses to listen. There's just nothing I could do about it. It's weird. It's so fucking trippy. But there's a lot of people like that. I mean, in politics, you see it everywhere, right?
Yeah. A prophet's never accepted in his hometown. But I just feel like we gotta.
I like it.
We gotta crack the code though. We love these people and we care about them. We gotta figure something out.
How old are you?
I don't think it's beyond us. 40.
I have one crazy Hail Mary for you if you want to try it.
Yeah.
It's crazy though.
I love it. Let's hear it.
You got to get it. You got to make a baby.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Because that might fuck your parents up enough.
Yeah. Well, they got other grandkids. My sister's got kids.
Oh, okay.
And yeah,
right.
and they're way into being grandparents. You think that would, but maybe more babies.
Oh,
maybe more babies could do it.
Or maybe that's the thing. Maybe they need to do like just take them to your gym and they kick the ball back and forth with one of their grandkids for 10 minutes, and that's a class.
Oh, that's a great idea.
And then the next class is like, hey, yeah, borrow your nieces and nephews. And then the next class is to kick the ball for 10 minutes and then play catch for 10 minutes.
Oh, that's good stuff. I like that.
Hey, dude, how old are your parents? Did you say?
My parents 65. My in-laws are just sneaking up on 70, and it's a similar situation with my in-laws as well. So,
hey, dude, it's real. I mean, I'm only 52, but it is. I'm good at it, but it is really hard to move. And so,
yeah.
By that I mean like once I sit down on a couch and I start seizing up, like I'm so comfortable. Like I can do like literally. Cleaning 65 pounds, a squat clean is hard for me if I'm cold. Mm-hmm. But once I'm warm, I can touch and go 135 like it's my fucking job. But I mean, I really have to, but it seems impossible 20 minutes earlier. Like impossible. Mm-hmm. And so you got to warm them up. You got like, I know, and I have an assault bike so I can warm up. But if you don't warm up old people, like they don't want to move, dude. And 40 is like, you're just starting to creep into that spot. But warming up is, you got to like trick them into warming up.
Yeah. Here's the thing that makes it sting so much more for me is, I know all those things. I am real, like not to toot my own horn, but I'm really freaking good at training old people. Like I'm awesome at it. And, you feel like you know the answer and they're just,
okay. So you know all that. Right. Okay. I didn't mean to tell you your job.
No, that's all right. No, it's good. And other people need to hear it as well. So.
All right. Thanks, dude. You're a wonderful caller. Call back all the time you make the show.
All right. See you later.
Bye. Listen, Sean, you fucking punk. Where is he? I know you guys think I'm a little pussy, but I'm really not. I'm just a pussy compared to you guys. Where is it? Film. What did he say? Video or it didn't happen. I'm telling you. The video or it didn't happen. I'm telling you. I'm special. I'm little too. You have to remember I'm little. Things are just easier for me. Even though I was a little fat kid that didn't play any sports, for some reason, my movement patterns are insane. Yeah, big pussy. I did for sure. Matt Burns, it's because if your family or spouse coaching them, it's almost impossible. My wife, I could coach like my wife and I work perfectly together. That's what's crazy. I don't have that. The only feedback my wife doesn't take good is air squats. She thinks she's like the queen of air squats. She'll be like, I am deep enough. I'm like, nah, you can go deeper. I've seen you go way deeper. She got this one little spot she sticks at until I have to unfuck her. But besides that, if I wrote workouts for my wife, she'd do them all day long. Call her. Hi. Actually, you know what's interesting is I used to train my wife, and now more often than not, she'll tell me workouts and I do them. So call her. Hi. Hello. Oh no, hold on. Hello. Hey.
Hey, Stefan, how are you?
I'm amazing. I'm getting in my flow. I'm finally 1 hour into the show, and I finally feel like myself.
Yeah, no, it's good. I just wanted to say thanks. You always find a way to weave in some really good humor, and you make me laugh. So appreciate you, man.
Oh, dude, that's the greatest compliment I'm gonna get all day, all week, all month. Thank you. No,
you're very witty, very quick on some stuff, and then just sometimes you say things that are just so stupid. And I have a very goofy sense of humor, and I'll just find myself dying laughing in my car on the commute to work, and I can only imagine what people see when they look over. And I'll wear your CEO shirt, and I tell everyone that I can. You got to listen to this podcast; it's worth it.
Oh, what's the dumbest thing I've said?
The one I liked, and it wasn't necessarily dumb, but again, it was just kind of quick and just kind of like not necessarily dumb, but more of just like immature humor.
Yes.
I had called in maybe like a month ago, and I told you that you were like knocking at the Christianity door, and your hand was on the knob. And you said, "Well, earlier this morning they were on my wife's tits," and just stuff like that. I still think about that and laugh. And when I had my dad listen to that part of the podcast, he was crying, laughing at the dinner table. So, I mean, come on, you're bringing joy to the world.
Thank you. Thank you. I need to lean more into that too. Sometimes I fall into these. I don't mind getting riled up, but I know that I need to be careful I don't hurt people's feelings or alienate people. But because sometimes I just get too crazy. But thank you, because I am a very positive person. But like I feel lately I've been feeling a little bad. Maybe you could help me with this. I feel like I've been going too hard on the athletes because they're my friends, you know.
They are, yeah, and I think it might be a little too hard in some cases. Sometimes maybe not as hard as it needs to be. But yeah, I mean, you got to think some of these, they're basically kids, right? Early 20s, and I think we think that they're much more mature between the ears than they are, and they're living through a crazy time right now. So giving them a little grace might be helpful, but also you might be the person that needs to give them that kick in the ass when they need it too, and tell them to wake up, and stuff's going to be hard and they need to figure it out. So
yeah,
I think there's a great.
That's a good point. They are really young. When Rich was on the other day and he told me he was only 35, I'm like, oh my God. 35 was, I'd only been out of the house for 1 year.
Yeah. So Rich and I are the same age. My whole CrossFit journey has been watching the GOAT, Rich Froning. And I always see him and think he's much older than me, right? Not that he looks older than me, but just, you kind of put those people on a pedestal.
Yeah, I do that too. I wish he was 10 years older than me.
Right. And he's so well spoken and all that stuff. And, just very well put together holistically as a human being. And, mentally, again, I still think that I'm 12 years old sometimes. So then when I think, oh, he and I are the same age, he's a human being like me. There's probably times Rich Froning thinks he's 12 as well. And he's got that humility where even in some of his interviews, he talks about that. So now you think about this generation of CrossFitter, some of them being early 20s, and the era that they've had to grow up in, it's Wackyville, USA. So I feel for them.
Right. I'm trying to remember which athlete it was the other day. I don't know. I can't remember exactly. Oh, did you see, do you watch the UFC?
Yeah.
Did you watch last weekend when Moicano won the fight in France?
I did not see that one, no.
So the guy, it's the main event. he fights the toughest dude in all of France. This guy who's such a badass. The guy's such a savage. He's like the great hope for France in UFC. And and Moicano, who's a Brazilian living in America, he wins the fight, and he gets the microphone. It's sold out, and he basically says, "Fuck Macron, fuck the global elitists, fuck the World Economic Forum." He's like, everyone who's listening right now needs to read this book, and he gives a book like that people need to read. And I'm thinking to myself, that's the problem. That's what I want to hear. How these people use their influence. You know what I mean? I want to hear.
Yeah,
I want to hear
exactly.
people. Yeah, or I liked what Hopper did too, just like for entertainment's sake with Dallin. But I wish we had a Novak Djokovic, or I wish we had a. I'm trying to think. There's other athletes like that are just like fuck you. And,
right. No, I agree.
And they use their influence just for anything. I don't care if it was to fucking peddle fucking any agenda that's clear, but instead it's just commercial cheese dickery. And
right, it's like have a platform, stand for something, have some substance, and when people ask you about it, be able to talk about it and have your point and not just shut people down. Like I totally
fuck women empowerment. That doesn't say anything. That like fuck eat what you want, or even the fight against cancer. It's like fuck that. It's just so fucking vague. It's so like just feel good. Like everyone's filling in the blanks when you say you're fighting for cancer, raising money for cancer. Like actually send something that's fucking actionable out to the world. Like really put it on the line. Like, hey guys, the thing is you have to stop eating sugar or anything. Just something that's like actionable, something of substance.
I got a real life story about Renato Moicano for you. Are you ready?
Yeah. Oh wow. Yes. He's so impressive. He's so impressive, especially since English is a second language. He's so impressive.
So like my friend group knows that I'm a pretty big like UFC fan and know a lot of the fighters. So one of the moms reaches out to my wife and says, "Hey, the kids have this lemonade stand up in one of the neighborhoods. And this UFC fighter came by and was like the nicest guy in the world, gave the kids $100, like love their entrepreneurship, like couldn't have been sweeter. Do you know who it is?" And they sent me a photo. Is coming through lemonade stands in Nellie Dell down in Orange County, California, and handing out $100 bills. Like what a guy. What a guy.
Yeah, that's crazy cool. And to throw on top of that, it's pretty cool that the UFC and Dana White allows that. I want to give ESPN some credit, but I know that if it was anyone besides Dana White, they'd have chopped it off. You know what I mean? But Dana White has Dana White's very clear that he's not censoring any of his athletes.
That's what I most admire about him, right? And he's also a very cool guy in person. I got to meet him one time, and couldn't have been nicer. But all of that in any organization, any team, right, any professional sport, it all starts from the top, right? And Dana White is very unabashed. You can be who you are. You can speak up for you. We're not going to censor you. And maybe you're seeing that with CrossFit, right? Where more of those athletes now don't have a lot of substance. It's like leadership at CrossFit doesn't have a lot of substance. Whereas before with Greg, he was all about the substance, didn't care about anything really else. And, the athletes that were bred up in that environment took on something very similar where they actually stood for something.
He sets the culture right from the top. He sets the culture.
Yeah. There's three things, a leader cannot delegate, right? That's strategy, that's competency, and lastly, that's culture. And so if you're a leader trying to delegate any of those things, your organization, your team it's going to be messed up. They're going to be searching for identity, and the results are not going to be good.
Well, so just to be clear, you're saying they can't delegate it. They have to actually do it themselves. They have to give the strategy, the culture, and what was the second one you said?
Their own competency. So they can't delegate that out to somebody.
Yeah. Hey, dude, thanks for the kind words. You the man.
Yeah, thank you, man. Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye. All right. So I'm funny. Let's just fucking say what it is. I'm just straight fucking funny. I used to make my wife laugh a lot. I don't make her laugh as much as I used to. Is that true? Oh my goodness. That is true though. Wouldn't you say I used to make you laugh more? You're like a co-host for the show, but you don't get a mic.
Hello?
Caller, hi.
Hello?
Yes.
Stevie, what's up, dude?
Hey, what's up, man?
How you doing, man? My name's Nate. I can't believe I'm talking to you.
You
I'm
can,
an
you
affiliate
can
owner.
if you're in Southern California, you can come have a Bloody Mary with me in a minute.
That would be awesome. Hey, man, I'm an affiliate owner in Orlando, Florida. We've been around for 11 years. I just wanted to share a quick story.
Congrats, dude.
Thanks, man. I just wanted to share
What's the name of the affiliate? What's the name of the affiliate?
CrossFit Broken Chains.
Broken Chains.
Yeah, man. We just had a really amazing story that just kind of came to light this weekend, and I just wanted to share it real quick. I'll give you the highlights.
Please, please take your time.
So I served in the Navy. I got out of the Navy back in 2006. My best friend, a guy named Lieutenant Rob Ellerteggy, he was a helicopter pilot at the same time that I was serving. We were like best friends. And Rob had a training accident in his helicopter. This was back in September of 2005. And the helicopter went down. It was in the middle of the night. Nobody survived. Tragic accident. Well, so when I got into CrossFit,
he survived, but no one else survived?
No one survived.
Oh, okay.
Everybody perished. Yeah. So when I got into CrossFit, this was I started doing CrossFit right before I got out of the military back in 2006. It was in dive school. Somebody, one of the instructors there taught us how to do CrossFit basically. And when I got out and I joined a local affiliate in Orlando, that's where I began my journey in CrossFit really. We put together a hero workout in his honor. That there were 3 sailors on the aircraft, so we made a special workout. It was called Magnum 445. It was the call sign of the aircraft. So we made this long kind of gross chipper workout, and we've been doing it for the past probably 15 years now. And for the past 11, we've been doing it at my gym. We turned it into a charity fundraiser. We raise funds for local charities and stuff like that. Well, the incredible thing that happened this year that I just wanted to share with you, my friend Rob, he was sort of, back when we went to college together, he was sort of a ladies' man. Girls just flocked to him. He was a good-looking Venezuelan dude. Well, he, unbeknownst to us, unbeknownst to him, he ended up having a son with this girl. I don't want to say the young man's name. It'll probably find its way around. But anyways, he had a son, and this kid is now 24 years old. Rob didn't know he existed. I didn't know he existed. And his mother, likewise, didn't know that Rob was his father. And so all these years go by, and we're doing these hero workouts every year. We're thinking about him and all this kind of stuff. Well, just this past year in February, this young man, he starts kind of looking in the mirror. He's looking at his brothers and sisters because his mother had other kids. And he's like, I don't look anything like these kids. And
hey, real quick, dude, is this dude local to you?
He is not. He grew up in Nebraska. He lives out in California though.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyways, he gets to look in the mirror, gets curious, starts asking questions, with his mom, and decides he's going to go on a quest to try and find out more about where he comes from. And so he started his search on Facebook and stuff like that, just kind of doing some of his own research. And then he talks to his mother and he says, hey, Mom, can I have your blessing? All I want for Christmas this year this was last year. He said, I just want to go get a DNA test. So Mom is like, yeah, go ahead. Go get it done.
Wait, one more question. So did his mom tell him your dad is this dude or no?
Well, she didn't know. She was with another guy. Yeah, she was with another guy at the time. She thought it was his.
Oh, shit.
And when
that guy still in this other dude's life? Was the dad in this dude's life?
No, that's the cool thing. Okay. It's not cool at all. It's not cool at all because when he found out that she was pregnant, he was like, I don't want to have anything to do with this. That kid is not mine, whatever. So that he basically disavowed him. And the kid grew up thinking all these years that his birth father didn't want or even know him.
Okay.
Right. So anyways, my friend passes away back in 2005, but there's this little boy growing up relatively fatherless, not knowing who his real dad is.
Yeah.
And so anyhow, he does all this research. He goes and gets a DNA test. He's like, oh my God, I'm like 70% Spanish, like Spain heritage.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes to ask his mom, like, what does this mean? And she's like, oh my God. She's like, she can't believe it. She's like, I was briefly seeing this guy back in Jacksonville around that same time. And she started, they were doing the research. They got on Facebook. They see all these tributes about Lieutenant Rob Elortegui. And everybody's going nuts. They're like, you look like a spitting image mirror of this man. And it was no doubt once the DNA test came through and all this. So anyways, he finds out his real father just this year. And so we just had on Saturday, we did our Magnum 445 workout and fundraiser again. And he flew out here, him and his mother, as special guests. And they just tell the whole story. Like we laid it all out. All these years I've been telling the story about my friend and how important he was in my life and all this kind of stuff. And then his son shows up and he's a 24-year-old kid just kind of sharing his story. And it was so cool, man. It was such a healing moment and it was awesome. And I'm glad you took my call so I could share it with the CrossFit world.
Dude, I love that story. Hey, let me ask you this. Is your buddy Rob's parents still alive?
Yes, and his mother came. His dad lives in Venezuela, but his mother lives here in the Orlando area.
And so she met her grandson for the first time?
Well, she met him personally like 2 months ago, but yes, same story. Yeah, so he came back and we were all together. It was awesome.
Dude, what a crazy thing to lose your son and 24 years later find out
you have a grandson.
Yeah, kind of get a piece of him back. Wow.
Dude, it was amazing.
Hey, dude, you're awesome. Just doing good things.
Sevy, thanks for taking the call, brother. I feel like I know you.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
awesome. Thanks for sharing that story. That's a wonderful story.
Yeah, man.
All right, cheers. Wow. Jonathan Ortega with the heavy-hitting questions. Does the kid lay pipe? I'm just curious if he does CrossFit. Damn. I need a whiteboard to map that out. Family trees can get really weird. This next video I'm going to show you needs a much wider angle. Sevi has a son in Congo. I never had sex on the African continent. Ever. I would actually do this thing when I would go to Africa where I wouldn't ejaculate. Believe it or not. Every time I went there, that would be kind of like my thing. Okay, don't bust a nut when you're there. And it's a story for another time, but so no kids in the Congo. All right. This is maybe one of you is going to be like, hey, Sevon, this is from a movie. But I thought it was real life. I don't know. Here we go. Watch this.
Get on the ground.
I'm right here.
All the way. I know where the fuck you are. I ain't retarded. Get on the ground, big boy.
What do you want?
2 more ran that way. Loud.
Look at that guy's forearms. You know that guy could be hiding a gun under his belly too, right?
Out. Loud.
What do
You want the dog? I'll hit him.
What do you want?
You're gonna go down to the ground? That's what I want.
Okay, so the cop's pointing a gun at him, saying, I want you to get on the ground. I'm thinking this guy doesn't want to get on the ground because how's he going to get back up? Tug Speedman, what size shirt is that? Brady Libby, I was looking at his tits. Respect, dude. Crazy respect. I wish I had said that. Damn. Crazy respect for that comment.
Want you down on the ground, Jelly Bean. Let's go.
I want you down on the ground, Jelly Bean. Even the dogs, like you can even picture those dogs. Those are like hunting dogs that are in a kennel, right? Like, what did that dude get in trouble for? Were they like killing some animals they weren't supposed to or something? Felicia Martinez, that dude getting on the ground is probably more scary to him than the gun pointed at him. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. He must be tripping.
Go all the way, Jelly Roll. Let's go. All right. Down, please.
All the way
Tell
down.
me. All right.
Jesus. The back of his neck sticks out past his head. You see what I'm saying? Like my neck goes in, my head like curls in to my spine. His head goes out to his back. Like
All the way down.
Yeah, I don't know about handcuffs. You might need a rope. Do we have
Right here.
his wrist is like his hand has fat on it. I didn't even know a hand could have fat on it. Yeah, those tits are incredible. God, that guy must be tripping so hard.
get on the ground?
I'm right here.
All the way. I know.
And look at his pockets on his shirt. that where you put your hands if they're cold.
Where the fuck you are? I ain't retarded. Get on the ground.
I ain't retarded. I didn't ever even heard anyone say retarded like that. Retarded. It's like it with an I. Retarded. I ain't retarded.
Down, big boy.
What do you want?
2 more ran that way. Loud.
2 more ran that way. That guy has people in his posse who can run.
Loud.
What do you want?
You want the dog? I'll hit him.
What do you want?
You're gonna go down to the ground? That's what I want.
All right,
I want you down on the ground, Jelly
I'm right
Bean.
here.
Let's go
Great.
all the way,
I'm
Jelly
right
Roll. Let's go.
All right.
Down, please.
All the way
Tell
down.
me.
All right.
All the way down.
Yeah, I don't know about handcuffs. You might need a rope. Do we?
A rope. Oh, is this? Oh, this guy. It's this whole. This guy has his own. Oh my God! It's just an Instagram account with the same post posted over and over and over. Wow, I don't really understand this account. It says posting daily until I get the job done. I don't really get. Let me see that.
Get on the ground.
Oh, and it's always written about a Cybertruck. Look at the comments. Be professional. He's still human being. So disrespectful. What was disrespectful? Police brutality. I lost it at tummy. 1 tubby, 2 tubby. I don't know about handcuffs. We might need a rope. Vile? Let me see what this person responds here. Are they... dude, let me tell you something. If a cop has a gun pulled out on you, the last thing you should be worried about how he's talking to you. Obviously, shit's hit the fan.
Right here.
Get on the ground.
I'm right here.
All the way. I know where the fuck you are. I ain't retarded.
I ain't retarded. Those cops were acting out of hate. What? In here? What kind of gas? They're not actual cops. They're bounty hunters. Yeah, it needs context. Yeah, I can't hate on the cops for that at all. Dude, if two dudes ran away, how do you know they're not in the fucking woods with guns pointed at you? You got to get that guy on the fucking ground as quick as you fucking can and figure out where the other guys are. Terry H., where's the sensitivity officer? That's the problem, man. We're going to have a whole issue with society if you can't let cops do that. Like, hey, that's fine. Professional. How I can't pass any judgment on those cops for that. I thought that was fine. I just assume if they have the gun out, the worst. And that guy's not even listening. I think that when that cop was telling George Floyd not to move, and he fucking reached over and put his hands like down on the side in the middle, and the cop couldn't see where his hands are. I think the cop could shoot you. I'm fine with that. If you fucking move your hand somewhere where they can't see after they've told you not to take it off the steering wheel 20 times, sorry, bye-bye. That dude's got to get home to his family. That's his job. We hired him. We hired him to pull over fucking people who are high on fentanyl, meth, alcohol, using counterfeit $20 bills to keep us safe. He's driving around in a fucking car. Car's a deadly weapon. They ask you to show your hands. You got them on the steering wheel, and then you come down over here. Bye-bye. Especially female cops. They should just be able to just shoot if you fucking do anything stupid. Mike McCaskey. Seven gargling cops semen again. Mike, send me your address. I'll send you the BLM sign for your front yard. It's been a while. I saw someone sent me a picture of the BLM and LGBTQ plus gender affirming rights for kids. They sent me those two pictures of those signs on your lawn. They both look a little worn. Let me buy you new ones, buddy. You're not spelling it right. Yeah, that cop didn't do anything that was unprofessional at all. Listen, the whole point of the police is to establish control over the situation and diffuse it. Once those guys carry guns. We've authorized them to carry guns and walk around and enforce the rules in society. If you talk shit to them, don't ever forget this. The immediate threat is to everyone around who's not involved, because if you talk shit, all of a sudden you're a threat to grabbing their gun and shooting their gun and hitting me or my kids. So fuck you. If you're going to be an asshole to cops, I don't even care if the cop's an asshole to you. So what? Go get your respect somewhere else. It just is. They just are. I don't need all cops to be perfect. I need it to just be good. I'm 52 years old. I've been pulled over twice in the last fucking 10 years. And both times the cops have fucking let me go. Why? Because I'm fucking cool. I've been pulled over 200, 300, 400 times. I've been to jail a couple times when I was younger. Every single fucking time I deserved it. I was being a fucking smart ass. Cop walks up to your window and I saw my stereo full blast. Like what? I'll tell you what, he should have slapped the shit out of me. Should have fucking yanked me out of the car. No one's accidentally. What do you have some cognitive fucking dissonance? Is your ears broken? Are you my fucking dad right now, Mike McCaskey? It's a guy who's high on fucking drugs with 3 fucking gangsters in the car. He's got his hands on the steering wheel where you've told him to put him fucking 20 fucking times, and he can't fucking keep him there. And then he reaches and puts his hands somewhere you can't see him. Shoot him. Hey, you know what's crazy too, dude? Imagine a dude. Listen to this. Imagine this, Mike. Imagine some guy comes into your fucking house and he's standing at your fucking bed and he's got his fucking hands in his pockets and you're sitting there in your bed with your wife. And right next to you on your dresser, you have a gun. Do you feel like your life is being threatened? It's a guy who's 6'5", fucking eyes dilated to the gills and slurring words. What do you do? You fucking cap him. And when the cops show up, the first thing you say is, holy shit, my life was in danger. Oh, good question. Is the guy hot? Good question. Valid. Crying out loud. If Jelly Bean falls on you while you're arresting him or rolls over on you and you're a cop, you're toast. The FBI still can't tell us. Sorry, the Inspector General FaceTime audio, huh? Caller, hi.
You there?
I'm here.
Sorry, internet's down, so I have to use FaceTime.
Do what you do.
You want to talk about this incident? I'm a cop.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
You'd have to throw that fat boy in the back of a truck because he wouldn't fit into a cop car for small town guys.
Have you ever had to throw someone in the back of a truck?
We had to get someone else's vehicle because they're so fat.
Amazing.
Some guys tonneau covers, so you just roll it up and have them sit in the back on the way to the jail.
You're a 132-pound woman, 5'2". You pull that guy over. Let's assume the worst. Let's say you look over and he's got a gun on his passenger seat, and he's being combative. Let's say you get him out of the car and away from his gun. Could that guy be hiding a gun under that big roll of jelly fat?
Oh, for sure. I found drugs and needles under some belly fat.
Yeah. And what if that guy falls on you as an officer? What if that guy that guy's able to grab you? You're screwed.
Yep.
Greg used to describe the relationship with Reebok as we were this small little company and Reebok was a 700-pound retarded woman. And we had to be and we were helping her cross the street and we had to be very careful she didn't fall on us and kill us. Isn't that a great description? Yeah, what is the rule? What is the rule? You pull someone over, you tell them not to move, and they reach into their glove box. Can you put them? Can you shoot them?
For safety, you'd probably run to your car and hide behind it.
Right.
And call them out. The opposite of what those cops did with the famous athlete. Just make them sit there and wait. You got all day.
Oh, right. The problem is what if he starts shooting and there's just people around everywhere?
Yeah.
That's what I always think. I always think like it's not just the officers. It's like the lady walking by with a stroller and her kid. And then you see it all the time. You can go on YouTube. You pull someone over who's a complete piece of shit in a piece of shit neighborhood. Next thing you know, there's 40 people harassing the cops for pulling them over. Lucky lose. That's the thing that no one ever thought about Derek. That's the thing people never thought about Derek Chauvin. Like, hey, dude, what was to stop someone from fucking throwing a brick at that dude, at Derek Chauvin? There were fucking maniacs everywhere. How long have you been a cop?
13 years.
Are you in a good city?
Smaller town. Yeah, all pro cop, small liberal town in Iowa.
Wow. Safe? Is it a safe town?
It's so-so. It goes in spurts. We just had a big flood. A whole bunch of people left earlier this year.
How much worse are men than women?
Men are. It depends. If it's a drunk woman and they're really drunk,
Yeah.
Holy shit, they're assholes.
God, dudes are so bad. Dudes have to be kept busy. How's the unemployment in your town?
Good, except for it was like 1 or 2%, and now the economy is starting to crash for farming, and all the equipment manufacturers of farming equipment.
Yeah, because that's bad. Unemployed men are bad.
Yep. We have a lot of illegals in our town because it's farming. So everyone steals people's social security numbers and works.
And the illegals in your town, in a farming town, they're working. Good people, like they're staying busy and being good.
They're busy except for the men at night. They like to drink a lot. We just had an accident this weekend, and he was drunk, smoked a car, and crashed. And of course, the person who hit is a libtard, so she's all pissed off. So, but it's kind of karma.
I'm speaking in a generalization. I'm open to being wrong, but what I've noticed in my area in California is that the illegals and the migrants that come up, all hardworking, all great people, but it's the fucking generation that comes after them. And by the way, I think that's changed. I don't think the illegals coming in now are good people, but I'm saying the ones that came in before fucking Joey Biden and Kamala opened the floodgates to all the criminals. But when I was a kid, they were all hardworking, but it was their generation of kids that no one was taking care of because they were too busy working their ass off.
All the parents work, and then the older kids, as they get older, just freaking drink and smoke weed. So
right, and get into gangbanging.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, stay safe. Thanks for what you do.
All right. Yep. See ya.
Thank you. All right. All right, guys. Monday morning. Great show. Whole family's awake, buzzing around me now. Sean, I owe you a video. Sure, we can do a show tonight. Fine. I'd love to. Will you be here, Barry? Emily and Dale on today. Who's that? That may be over my head. I don't know. Dale Saran, Emily Kaplan. Uplift Wad, Mark Ross. Sevi, new challenge drops tomorrow, programmed by Josh Bridges. You want to hear a funny story really quick before I get off? So that show that you sponsored for, Mark, that show that you sponsored for Kill Taylor, I thought afterwards I had texted you and you didn't respond to me. I started to get really insecure about it. I'm like, did I go too hard? Did we go too hard in the show? Too many suicide jokes? Anyway. Oh, Dale King. On Sousa's show? Is Sousa doing a show today? I don't know what you're talking about. Help me out. Help a brother out. Kaplan and King. Where? I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Dude, I'm at the beach hanging with Sarah Cox. CAPeptides.com. Oh, the BSI channel. Oh, tomorrow. Okay. Interesting. Oh, I'm not on vacation. I'm going to call you today, Brandon. I need to call you. What a jackass I am. I said I'd call you last week. I want to talk to you, by the way. I'm in a little bit here, my wife's going to go work out. I'm going to take the kids skateboarding. I'll give you a call. Sarah. Yep. We got a bunch of cool shows coming up with DNA for Addiction too. All right. I'll see you guys tonight. Bye-bye.